Imagine feeling stuck in a rut, unable to break free from the cycle of self-doubt and negative thinking. You've tried everything from therapy to self-help books, but nothing seems to work. You feel like you're constantly being held back by your own demons, and you're desperate for a way to master them. That's where the 5 simple tools come in. These tools aren't just theoretical concepts. They're actionable steps you can take to make an immediate change in your life. Whether you're dealing with grief, difficult relationships, or professional setbacks, these tools will give you the power to push through and come out stronger on the other side. But it's not just about overcoming obstacles, it's also about appreciating the good in your life and finding motivation to keep moving forward. These tools will teach you how to use your insecurities to your advantage, how to manage difficult interactions with people, and how to push through pain points to achieve your goals. Think of these tools as a screwdriver for your mind. Just like you wouldn't try to fix a loose screw with a hammer, you can't tackle life's challenges without the right mental tools. The best part is that you don't have to wait for an appointment with a therapist. You can start using these tools right away. So what are you waiting for? It's time to master your demons and take control of your life. Chapter 1. Emma dreamed of becoming a successful writer. She had always loved writing, but the thought of sharing her work with the world filled her with dread. She was afraid of rejection and criticism, and so she kept her writing to herself. One day, Emma stumbled upon the first tool, welcoming adversity. She learned that by reframing her fear of rejection, she could use it to her advantage. She visualized her fear as a dark cloud and asked it to envelop her. As she accepted the fear eagerly, she focused her mind on the good that could come from it. With each passing day, Emma became more comfortable with the idea of sharing her writing with others. She started small, sharing her work with trusted friends and family. And to her surprise, they loved it. With each positive reaction, Emma gained confidence and her fear of rejection diminished. Emma continued to use the tool to overcome other obstacles that stood in her way. She tackled her fear of public speaking, her fear of failure, and even her fear of flying. Each time, she emerged stronger and more empowered. As Emma's confidence grew, she decided to take a bold step. She submitted her writing to a literary magazine. And to her delight, her story was accepted. It was the first of many successes to come. Years later, Emma looked back on her journey with gratitude. She realized that without the first tool, she never would have found the courage to pursue her dreams. By welcoming adversity, she had unlocked a whole new level of possibility in her life. And so, Emma continued to face each challenge with a sense of excitement and anticipation. She knew that on the other side of adversity lay the potential for great growth and transformation. And with that mindset, she knew that nothing could stand in her way. Chapter 2. Jake had big dreams of becoming a professional musician. He had spent his entire life practicing his guitar, writing songs, and performing at local venues. However, despite his passion and talent, he struggled to break through in the industry. One day, Jake received an invitation to perform at a big music festival. It was the opportunity he had been waiting for, but he couldn't shake the feeling of self-doubt that had been holding him back for years. He was afraid that he wasn't good enough, that people would judge him, and that he would fail. Jake knew he needed to overcome these feelings, so he turned to the third tool, mastering your mind. The tool teaches you to separate your true self from the negative thoughts and beliefs that hold you back. Instead of identifying with your limiting beliefs, you learn to observe them and choose more positive, empowering thoughts. Jake began by writing down his negative thoughts and beliefs on a piece of paper. He realized that he had been telling himself that he wasn't talented enough, that he would never make it in the industry, and that people would laugh at him if he failed. These thoughts had become so ingrained in his mind that he believed them to be true. Then, Jake challenged each of these beliefs, asking himself if they were really true. He realized that they weren't. He had talent, he had worked hard, and he had already achieved some success. He also realized that failure wasn't the end of the world, and that even if people did laugh at him, it didn't matter because he was doing what he loved. With these new, positive beliefs in mind, Jake began to practice his music with a newfound sense of confidence. He approached the music festival with a positive attitude, knowing that even if things didn't go perfectly, he was still a talented musician and had the potential to achieve great things. When the day of the festival arrived, Jake stepped onto the stage with his guitar in hand. He felt a rush of adrenaline as the crowd cheered, but instead of feeling nervous, he felt excited. He played his heart out, pouring all of his passion and energy into the performance. When he finished, the crowd erupted into applause, and Jake knew he had succeeded. From that day on, Jake continued to use the tool of mastering his mind, challenging his negative beliefs and choosing positive, empowering ones. He went on to achieve even greater success in the music industry, but more importantly, he found a sense of peace and confidence within himself that he had never experienced before. Chapter 3. Mia had always struggled with self-doubt and insecurity. She had recently landed a job at a prestigious advertising agency, but she found herself constantly questioning whether she was good enough to be there. Mia felt like she was always second-guessing herself and never fully present in meetings or presentations. One day, Mia's boss noticed that she wasn't speaking up as much as she could be and suggested that she try out a new tool that had been making waves around the office. It was called Embracing Your Whole Self, and it promised to help Mia bring her entire presence to the workplace. Mia was skeptical at first, but she decided to give it a try. She closed her eyes and visualized an image of herself that she wasn't proud of, the version of herself that was constantly questioning her abilities. Then, she pictured that self standing next to her in the boardroom. She focused on that image while connecting with it fully as she spoke and acted. To her surprise, Mia felt a newfound sense of confidence and control. She found herself speaking up more in meetings and taking on bigger projects. She realized that by embracing her whole self, insecurities and all, she was able to show up more authentically and effectively. But Mia didn't stop there. She began using the tool in other areas of her life as well. She used it to muster the courage to ask for a raise and to have difficult conversations with friends and family. And each time, she felt more empowered and in control. Soon enough, Mia became known around the office as a force to be reckoned with. She was respected by her colleagues and admired by her superiors. But more importantly, she felt like she was finally living up to her true potential. From that day on, Mia never doubted the power of embracing her whole self. She knew that by bringing her entire presence to every situation, she could overcome any obstacle and achieve anything she set her mind to. Chapter 4. Mia lay awake in bed, staring at the ceiling. She had a big presentation at work the next day, and she couldn't shake the feeling that it was going to be a disaster. What if she forgot her lines or stumbled over her words? What if her boss was disappointed in her? These thoughts consumed her, and she couldn't seem to stop them. As she lay there, her mind racing, she remembered something she had read about gratitude. Mia decided to give it a try. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath, focusing on the feeling of gratitude. It was hard at first, but she thought about all the things in her life that she was thankful for. Her supportive family, her loving partner, her cozy apartment. As she thought about each thing, a warmth spread through her chest. Mia began to feel more relaxed and at ease. She opened her eyes and looked around her room, noticing the little things she was grateful for, like the soft sheets on her bed and the moonlight filtering in through the window. It was a small moment, but it made a big difference. The next day, Mia aced her presentation. She spoke clearly and confidently, and her boss was impressed. Later, she realized that her gratitude practice had helped her focus on the positive things in her life, rather than getting bogged down by negative thoughts. From that day forward, Mia made gratitude a part of her daily routine. She started a gratitude journal, writing down 3 things she was thankful for each day. It wasn't always easy, but she found that the more she practiced gratitude, the easier it became. Over time, Mia began to notice that she felt happier and more content with her life. Even when things didn't go according to plan, she could always find something to be thankful for. She had created a gratitude loop, where positive thoughts and emotions fed off each other, creating a sense of peace and well-being. Mia shared her gratitude practice with her friends and family, and soon they were all practicing gratitude too. It was a small change, but it made a big impact on their lives. They were more resilient, more optimistic, and more appreciative of the world around them. As Mila lay in bed at night, she no longer worried about the things she couldn't control. Instead, she focused on the things she could control, like her attitude and her perspective. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath, feeling the warmth of gratitude fill her chest. Mila smiled and drifted off to sleep, feeling thankful for the day she had just lived and the day ahead of her. Chapter 5. Mira sat at her desk, staring blankly at her computer screen. She had a huge project due in 2 days, but she couldn't seem to get started. Her mind kept wandering to other things: her friends, her family, her dreams. She sighed and leaned back in her chair, closing her eyes. Suddenly, a thought hit her. What if she were to die tomorrow? What if this was her last day on Earth? Would she be happy with how she spent her time? The thought scared her, but also motivated her. She opened her eyes and started typing furiously, pouring all her energy into the project. She was determined to make the most of her time and leave a mark on the world. As the days went by, Mira found herself using this tool more and more. Whenever she felt like giving up, or like she couldn't do something, she would picture herself on her deathbed. It wasn't a pleasant thought, but it gave her the push she needed to keep going. Slowly but surely, Mira began to accomplish more than she ever thought possible. She tackled projects with a sense of urgency, knowing that every moment was precious. She took risks and tried new things, knowing that life was short and she didn't want to waste a single moment. Years later, when Mira looked back on her life, she was proud of all she had accomplished. She knew that she had lived every moment to the fullest and that she had made a difference in the world. And she knew that she had the fifth tool, the tool of urgency, to thank for it all. Summary. In life, we all face challenges and obstacles that require us to develop and improve ourselves. Thankfully, there is an ultimate toolkit of 5 tools that can help you tackle any part of your life that needs building or repair. The first tool teaches us how to practice welcoming adversity in order to push through pain points and achieve major goals. By embracing challenges, we can grow and become stronger, rather than being held back by our fears. The second tool is all about harnessing and channeling love. Love is a powerful force that can help us deal with difficult people and calm our own minds. By cultivating a loving attitude, we can improve our relationships and enhance our overall well-being. The third tool focuses on building confidence. Many of us struggle with feelings of insecurity, especially in intimidating situations. By visualizing, connecting with, and acting in tune with our shadow selves, the part of us that embodies our insecurities, we can learn to bring our whole selves to these situations and thrive. The fourth tool is the practice of gratitude. By focusing on all that we have and all that we are grateful for, we can shift our energy from a focus on anything that's lacking. This can help us appreciate the present moment and live a more fulfilling life. The fifth and final tool is all about motivation. By continuously reminding ourselves how we'd feel if we suddenly ran out of time, we can stay focused on our goals and keep striving for continuous improvement. No one wants to end life with great regrets, and with these tools, you won't have to. In conclusion, these 5 tools provide a comprehensive toolkit for personal development. By incorporating these practices into our daily lives, we can overcome challenges, improve our relationships, build confidence, live with gratitude, and stay motivated to achieve our goals. Finally, the insights and knowledge I gained from reading The Tools were phenomenal. I highly recommend it. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and if you found value in this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more great content. Trust me, you won't regret it.